Hello everyone and welcome to something a little new that we're going to be trying out over these next few weeks/months, because as you know, if you're a football fan, it is that time of the year when transfer rumors are flying around left, right and center. So what we are going to do is we're going to get the best or most credible or most interesting ones and put them in a little bit of a roundup so that you, all football fans out there, can in fact catch up with the latest interesting news that is happening and actually filter out what could be certified as false at best, or fake news, or total made up nonsense at worst. So we're going to start this video, and we're going to start off with a very interesting big name. As you can see on the screen, we are going to be talking about Raheem Sterling. Now, Manchester City are resigned to the fact that they will most likely be losing Raheem Sterling in this transfer window, and his destination is a pretty interesting one. Rather than look to move abroad to one of the bigger clubs in Europe, he's in fact targeting a move to Chelsea, where in fact people within the board hierarchy themselves are very confident that they can get a move done for the 26-year-old winger. Now obviously Sterling has been targeting a move reportedly since at least last season, and having not seen his playing time improve under Pep Guardiola at City, is willing to make a move and would prefer moving back to a London-based club. Well, that's where Chelsea step in, and they are increasingly confident that because he has only 12 months left on his current deal, he'd be available for a cut price deal. Now obviously nothing is official yet, but news reports do suggest that talks are progressing in the right direction. So that would be quite the coup for Chelsea under new ownership, remember, if he would end up becoming their first signing. Now moving on from Sterling to his Manchester City teammate Gabriel Jesus. Now Jesus has been the target of plenty of speculation for at least the past 2 seasons, and a lot of that speculation goes back to just one club in London. I am of course talking about Arsenal. Arsenal remain confident that they can sign him in this summer transfer window, and that talks are indeed at a stage where they are confident that the deal can happen. Of course, there are also rumours now saying that Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal's North London rivals, are also targeting a move for the Brazilian striker. Now, whether or not Spurs are successful in that pursuit is another matter altogether, but they have had a very busy transfer window up till this point, signing 3 players and targeting at least 2 or 3 more before the window slams shut. Of course, it would be quite interesting to see what happens if the 2 North London clubs do end up engaging in a bit of a bidding war, but as far as we know, that hasn't really happened as of yet. Now moving on from 2 Manchester City players to another player from Liverpool, who of course Liverpool we know was City's biggest rivals in terms of the title fight in the last season. They only ended up missing out on the title very narrowly, but they are set to lose one of their key players in Sadio Mane. That's because Mane has for quite a while been angling away for a move, and after the Champions League final, which they lost to Real Madrid, he made up his mind that he would look to be seeking a new challenge. That new challenge appears likely to be Bayern Munich. Yes, the defending Bundesliga champions have made a 3-year deal to Mane, and he's apparently agreed to the personal terms as well. So the only thing that's really standing in the way right now is the transfer fee that Bayern Munich would have to pay to Liverpool, who of course would be holding out for quite the fee. Remember, Liverpool recently signed Darwin Núñez, and Darwin Núñez was signed specifically as a replacement for Sadio Mane because the club knew that the Senegalese international was targeting a move away from the club after quite the trophy-laden spell at Merseyside. Now, moving on from a transfer that was, to be fair, or a reported transfer that was quite amicable, to one that has been anything but, Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku looks close to be finalizing a return to Inter Milan, having only joined Chelsea from Inter in the last summer. Now, if we're talking about catastrophic football transfers, Lukaku's return to Chelsea has to be ranking right up there. The London club signed him made him their record signing, spent £97.5 million on him reportedly, made him one of the club's highest paid earners, and within 3 months' time he was out there giving interviews saying how much he missed Inter Milan and how he wished he didn't have to leave. So not only did that end up seriously damaging his relationship with the fans, but he also reportedly ended up having difficulties with coach Thomas Tuchel, and thus saw his playing time reduce. Lukaku is reportedly keen now to bring to an end his second spell at Chelsea, that too only after a season, but Inter Milan, as things stand, are only willing to take him on loan, and the major stumbling block is not Lukaku's wages, but the loan fee that Chelsea are asking for, although it is expected that negotiations will take place and that they're moving in a positive direction. So that's another loan deal that we could be seeing confirmed sooner rather than later. And we're ending this particular edition of the Transfer Rumour Roundup with a man who is in quite a lot of demand, not just in England, but also in Europe as well. And I am talking about Leeds winger Rafinha. Now, obviously, Leeds managed to survive in the Premier League for yet another season by the skin of their teeth, but Rafinha, as one of their star performers, has attracted attention from a lot of places. There are at least 3 clubs in London, including the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, who are monitoring his status at Leeds, and there's also the certain matter that Barcelona are very, very keen to sign him as well. Of course, each of these clubs, there's quite a bit of an interesting story behind that, because Arsenal have been negotiating mostly with Leeds. Chelsea have also expressed interest only with Leeds, but there's no agreement yet on the transfer fee, with Leeds believing to be wanting at least 65 to 75 million pounds for their marquee Brazilian. Barcelona, meanwhile, have moved one step ahead because they've agreed personal terms with Rafinha, but would most likely have to shift players and do some clever financial maneuvering to afford Rafinha, given that we all know how fragile Barcelona's financial situation is. Even as things stand, they need to be moving on quite a few players to even register the 2 new signings who they have made in recent times, or have reportedly made in recent times. So how is it they managed to land Rafinha? Well, that's anyone's guess, but let's see. I'm expecting plenty of interest in Rafinha in the upcoming summer, and I'd be very surprised if come the end of the transfer window he remains a Leeds United player. And that is it from us in this edition of the Transfer Rumour Roundup. As I said, we're trying something new, and we will be coming back with more editions of this video as the transfer window wears on. Thank you all so much. If you join me and enjoy what it is we do, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, drop us a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and remember that if you want the best from the world of sports on a daily basis, don't look beyond Sports Today. We are always with you 24/7, 365. So don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you know when it is that we are going live or posting a new video. As always, I've been Shane Rice, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.